And you can unplug the Tesla too. Push the button and you don't have to trip over anything. On the
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Emily. This is 45 minutes of Pilates on our mat. We are using a ball and a band. So if you don't have these props, you can use a roll of toilet paper, you can use a small couch cushion, even a foam yoga block works in space of the ball. And if you have a band that's like this, great, but if not, then you can have a longer band and wrap it up a bit. But we're only using them for a few songs today. So for the most part, we won't be using any props. For the warm-up today, we're going to be down on our knees. So if you need to here, you can roll your mat over, fold it over once or twice. If you are someone who needs extra padding in your knees like I am. And we're going to come down and warm up through the hands first. So you can either have your hips up or your hips down on your heels like this, and bring the hands out, and we're making little figure eights with the hands. Breathing in and out. Purpose here is to open up through the chest. The rest of the body can be completely relaxed. And let's focus on the breath just for the next minute or so. And see if you can let the rotation here come from the shoulders. So see if you can ignore what's happening with the hands. Let's rotate through the shoulders, little figure eights, that's it. And then from here, bring the arms still. And then we're bringing the hands up and rotate. So palms up, thumbs up and over. And from here, stretch the arms out as long as you can. That's it, great work. Nicely done. Keep those arms up. 15 more seconds. Hips are up or hips are down. See if you can reach out to the very sides of your room, just like that. Great. From here, we are coming into a seated position. So find a nice high back and point through your toes. So bring the crown of the head up to the sky, chest is open, just like we did in our warm-up. Point the toes. We're lifting one leg, lifting the other.
Sorry, it looks like you're,
See if you can find a place.
Never mind, sorry, your screen was frozen for a minute.
Oh, okay, thanks so much for letting me know. Okay. And if this feels good, you want to try to test your balance a little bit, then you can bring your hands just behind your head. Cassandra, thanks so much for letting me know. And exhale every time you lift that leg, and really take it slow here. Form over speed. Breathe into it here. Welcome, great to have you. Today we're using a ball and a band. So if you have anything that looks like this, that would be awesome, Christina. Okay, and if not, then we will make do. Okay, from here, make sure you've got enough room behind you to roll back. And we are lifting one leg, grabbing on towards the ankle, straight leg, straight arm. If this feels good, other side comes up. So point through the toes. Legs are about shoulder width apart. Curl to the back. Inhale. Exhale, roll back to the shoulder blades. Up. Find that balance. This one is called open leg rocker. Find the balance. And back. Stick straight through the arms. Stick straight through the legs. Nice C-shaped spine. Let's do 3 more, just like that. Try to find that little balance at the top. That's the hardest part. 1 more. And let's hold it up. This one's great for a smile. Up, up, up. For 3, for 2, for 1. Drop one leg. Slowly drop the other. Shake out through the arms and legs here. And then from here, drive the heels into the mat, bring the hands just above the ears. And then with that nice straight back, we tilt back on an angle, curl down, drive the heels in, and then lift the head, neck, and chest, curl up, draw the head down between the knees, curl the back, curl up, find that nice straight back. Tip back as far as you can, curl down, nice and easy. Take a breath at the bottom and then lift that head, neck, and chest. Really fight for it here and curl down. Let's take one more like this. This is called a neck pull. So from that nice straight back, if you're just joining us, we tip back, hinging, curling down one vertebrae at a time. Breath at the bottom, inhale, exhale, curl forwards, and then let's end in that nice straight back. That was a really intense way to start the class today. Thank you for sticking with that. From here, we're coming down onto our front, all the way down into what's called the prone position. And we're going to start by stacking one hand, palm down, other hand, palm on the top, and then press the top of the feet, so where your shoelaces would be, press that into the mat. Inhale at the bottom, and then exhale, lift the head, neck, and chest. Down, bring all the air to lift. Inhale down, exhale, lift. Let's take 3 more like that. 2, and 1, hold it up. Draw the hands apart, touch the temples, and then draw the arms wide to that letter T, just like we did in the warm-up. Inhale, fingers to the temple, reach it long. Let's take 3 more, 2, and 1. Press back, child's pose. Let's take a breath back here. Really round through the spine. Great work. Yes, we are great to see you. Okay, from here, crawl forwards. Meet me in a low plank. So forearms down, and then touch the fingers across to the opposite elbow. Roll to one side. Cassandra, this is where our little side plank is going to be hiding for tonight. We're not in it long. Side to side, reach that hand up and coming across. If this feels good, opportunity to lift that top leg as we roll across. Exhale, lift that leg. That's it. Let's take 1 more per side. Last one on this first round. Press back, child's pose. So that was the first half. Our second time through, we're doing a slightly different exercise down on the front, and then we come back in to that low plank exercise. So coming down all the way onto our front, again, point the toes, press the shoelaces into the mat, press up, find a little bit of a curve through that low back, and then hands face in. And I want you to squeeze in on imaginary beach ball here. So glue the fingers together, drive the top of the feet in, find some height through the chest. 10 more seconds here. Keep your neck in line with the spine. Deep breath, let it go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax onto your mat, take a breath down here, let it all go. We're going to come back into that same position one more time. And again, glue the fingers together. This time we reach towards the toes of the same side, back to center, and reach. This one I like to call the penguin. If you can think of a little penguin, think of March of the Penguins. We are walking in slow motion, like a little group of penguins here, and reach. So your palms are facing in towards the legs. Glue those fingers together. 5, 4, really reach to the side. 3, 2, and 1. Press back, child's pose. Nicely done. Let's take 1 more breath here. Really widen out through the knees. Press the toes together. And when you're ready, crawl back, Meet me in that low plank, hand towards opposite elbow, come to one side, and if you're ready for it right away, raise that top leg and reach. Stacking here through the hips, stacking through the shoulders. That's it, stay in this. That's it, Christina. Nicely done. Great work, everyone. Let's take a few more on either side. Yes, Cassandra, that's it, Catherine. And from here, can we take one more on either side? So curling over, last one on your second side, and then bend the knees, drop the hips, let it go. Whew, great work. Okay, from here, we're coming over onto our side. So let's start with our hips in the very center of the mat, the side furthest from your screen, and then bring your right leg down to the front left corner of your mat so that your legs are on a diagonal. And then come down head in hand, and then bring that top left leg underneath the right, and then we're lifting that top leg up. Oh, it's only about a foot or so, maybe 2 feet, but only so far that you're not feeling a rotation, so you're not coming all the way up and rotating through the hip. It's just a lift and lower here, and make sure your hips are stacked so that your left hip is right on top of the right hip. That's it, breathe into this here, and think about lifting that bottom oblique up. So the bottom oblique is active here, the bottom of your side core. And if this feels nice with the hand on the hip, and you want to add a little challenge, you can bring that top left hand behind the head to really open up through the chest. All right, can everyone hear me?
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right, that's the most important thing. I'm gonna get my headphones. Okay, my headphones are working, so you can hear me. If you can hear the music, then that is awesome. Can we hear the music, or is that might not be happening right now? I'm so sorry, everyone.
No music, but you're loud and clear.
Awesome,
Yep,
okay, I'm gonna try to get that. All right, back in action?
Yeah, music's back on.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so from here, we'll just bring the song back a tiny bit. We're coming into a little bicycle. And so the way the bicycle looks is this. So that top leg is still, that left leg, bend the knee, and then bring that leg all the way to the back. So you might want to start this one with that top left hand down on the mat, bend the knee, bring it forward, and then draw it all the way back to that back corner of the mat. So resist the temptation to just stop at the leg level, but bring the leg all the way back, bend the knee and come through. The really fun part here comes when we go in reverse. So let's reverse it. So bring that, sweep the leg forward, bend the knee, and then kick it back. And the trick here is to try to keep those hips stacked so that top leg is now on a plane, maybe about a foot above the ground. So kick it back, sweep it forward. This is what I kind of think about if you are into horseback riding. This is sort of like our horse going backwards. The first one is our horse going forwards. Now we're going backwards. Let's take 3 more in the second direction. 2 and 1. Relax that top leg, press up, and then we are swinging our legs around to the other side, hips at the back, and then now my left foot goes to the right front corner of my mat, and right away, my top right leg, open and close. And then that top hand on the hip, on your mat, or behind the head. Nice and slow, and take a quick peek down that your right hip is directly above your left hip here. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Stay in that hover, going forwards with the bicycle or on the horse, whatever you want to picture here. And so that top leg is about at the height of my top hip, so about a foot or so off the ground, and keeping it along this same plane. Take one more, and then we reverse. So sweep it forward, bend the knee, bringing it back. That's it. Let's take 3 more. 2, and 1. Relax that top leg. Let's bend the knees, shake it out, and we are coming up into a standing position. If you have a band, this is when we're going to use it, but totally fine to not use that because the exercise promises to be challenging regardless. We're starting with a little march here. And so if you have the band on, draw out through the legs so that you have tension on the band, even at the bottom. And I want you to picture here walking through quicksand. I love doing this one in class. We talk about walking through quicksand, and use those hands, little sprinter arms, to help you along if you like. If you want to make it more challenging, bring those hands above the head, and not using the hands is way harder. So you can experiment with both right here. That's it. Can you bring those feet 1 inch wider? Really gets into the quads, gets in to our side glutes, our glute med. Right here. Breathe in. Keep that bend in the knees, even at the bottom. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the right leg lifted, and we're drawing a quarter circle. So if you can picture a clock, we're going from 12 to 3 with that right heel. So 12 to 3, 3 back to 12 on a perfect circle here. So a quarter of a clock or a quarter of anything else round. Pizza, that's what I had for supper. Although I think my kids ate more like half the pizza. You guys only left with a quarter. All right, see if you can keep the left side of your body perfectly still right here. Really dig for it. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. And then shake it out, either little mini jacks or a side-to-side step. Even out through both sides, either in a jump or in a side-to-side step. All right, almost ready for side 2. So find tension on the bottom. And then the left foot now, we're working on that left side glute. Think about going from 12 to 9 on our clock. So a quarter turn, a quarter to the hour, up to the hour itself. Find a little spot here, either on the floor or on the wall, something that's not moving. Focus in. Breathe into this one. I have a little tiny bend in my right knee. Let's see if you can keep your right side of your body totally stable. Really press down into that right foot. Let's go 3, 2, and 1. Side to side, let it go. So jumping version or stepping version, in and out. That's it. And we finish off walking through quicksand again. Draw those knees even higher up. Bring them all the way up towards the same side shoulder. 10 more seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nicely done. Take that band off. If you like, grab a quick sip of water. And from here, we're actually putting the band onto our thighs. So if you have a band, it comes up and over the thighs. That's it. Great work, everyone. Okay, from the back of the mat here, we are reaching up, curling down, walk the hands out into high plank, single push-up. Coming back up, walking with the legs straight, reaching up, up, up. And you might even want to add a little arch in the back here. Coming down with straight legs, walking out. See if you can do it in 4 steps. Option here for 2 push-ups. 1 and 2. Walk it back up. This time, you guessed it, we stay down for 3. Option to do it with knees on or knees off. 2 and 3. Stay here. Bring the feet up so that your knees are right underneath the hips. Little bear here, and then open up through the knees, either with or without the band. This is really intense. Stay up on the wrists or come down to forearms. You pick here, open up through the knees like a little Elvis here. 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to plank for 1 breath. And then we walk back, repeat. So we stretch up, curl it down. We go 1, then 2, then 3 push-ups. You've got this. Coming back, up, and reach, curling down. Nicely done. 2 here. All in this together. After your 3rd push-up this next time, stay down, come into that little bear. So 3 push-ups first. 3, 2, and 1. From here, high plank or low plank, bring the knees in underneath the hips, and we open. 20 more seconds. You've got this. Yes, that's it, Sarah. You've got this, Cassandra. Great work. Yep. That's it, Christina. You got it, Vera. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding higher, low plank. 1 breath right here. And then pushing back, walking it back up. Reach, curling it down. Single push-up. Coming back and reach. This time we do 2. Came here to do the work. We are doing the work. Woo! But just like that, almost there. 1 final time. Meet me down in high plank. 3 push-ups. 2 and 1. Walk it back. Great work, everyone. That was awesome. You did amazing. Flip that band off, and we are grabbing for your ball or whatever prop you have that is like a ball. Hold on to it in 2 hands, tiny little bend in the elbows, and from here, little bend in the left knee. Your left leg is your standing leg, deep bend in the right knee, and we tap right knee into left, point the toe, and then tap that right toe onto the side of your left shin. Option here to grab on to a piece of furniture with that left hand, or keep both hands on the ball. Doing some really good standing work here. Cassandra was with me this morning. We did some different standing and balance work. So we're switching it up. This one I love, and I haven't done it in forever. We often do it down on our side in a clam, but it's extra challenging when we don't have the floor to support us. All right, so just like that one we had the band on, see if you can be totally stable and still in that left side of your body. Relax here, nice straight back, shoulders over the hips, strong through the core. And think about this exercise coming from the core. Okay, we're going to add some excitement into that right leg. Keep the knee bent. We're doing a little S across, kick out to the side. And as you come across, you can take a tiny slight bend in that left knee. I'll give you a little side version here. Find a spot on your wall, something not moving here. So coming down and a little bit up. And again, permission to grab on to a piece of furniture with that left hand. If you like, stay in this. Channeling our inner ballet dancer here. I actually remember learning this in gymnastics on the balance beam about 35 years ago, maybe 40. Okay, let's take 3 more. 2 and 1. Take your ball or whatever prop you have under both heels, connect through the heels, toes out, little plies down and up. This is our recovery. We get to work both sides, and then we get to come back and do side 2. So down and up, it's just my heels that are on my ball. Or if you have a cushion, it's just the heels. Ball of the feet are down on the mat. 3, 2, squeeze the glutes at the top, and 1. All right, take that ball, take your prop between both hands, and this time, the left knee comes up, out and in. So connect knee to knee, toe to the inside of your shin. And feel how that balance is a little bit different on side 2. Pick something not moving, maybe something on your wall, maybe it's on your screen. It's sure not me because I'm moving around a lot. So tap and tap. So your hips can come down and up just a tiny little bit here. That's it, 10 more seconds. And then we switch to that letter S. Really press in here with the ball of the foot. And now we do that little letter S, kick it out to the side. And as you do this, you can bring the hips down just a little bit and then stand up straight as you kick and extend. That's it. Yeah, Christina, I love that you're using the foam roller for this. Let's take 3 more. 2 and 1. Your prop comes underneath the heels. Connect the heels together, heels in, toes a little bit out, back completely straight, of course straightish. We want to have that nice natural curve. Coming down and up, squeeze the glutes at the top. I was in a class of Derek's and he said, pretend you have $1 million between the cheeks. I was telling Christina last week, I couldn't remember who said that. It was Derek. Got a really good chuckle this week when he said that in a class I attended. That's it, 3 to go. 3, 2, and 1. Carefully step off your ball or off your prop. Shake out through the legs. Really, really nicely done, everyone. Let's grab a quick sip of water together, and then we're coming down onto our back. All right, this next one is one of my favorites. We're not using any props. We're coming into what's called the Pilates Rollover. And so coming down onto your back, let's start just by hugging in on the knees. Take a deep breath in, sigh it out, let it go. And then bring your toes and your legs right over the hips. Press your hands in, spread out through the fingers, and then press in so much that you lift the hips up and off, and then you bring the legs a little bit overhead. Come back until the toes are right over the hips. So it's slow and controlled. It comes right from the core. So try to get some real height through the hips here. And then maintain that core connection. The slower you go, the deeper you get. All right, you can stay here with the legs glued together, or we can add on by bringing the legs apart. So I'll do this so that I'm facing you. So my legs are hip width apart here. I come back, connect the legs, glue the legs together. When you come back to your original position, separate out. When you're at your furthest point, glue the legs together. So apart, when we go up and over, connect them as we come down. Apart and together. 3 more like that. Nice and slow. 2. Last one in this second version. All right, like that. Let's hug the knees in. Take a little rock left and right. Third version of our rollover, we start with the legs together. So together to start, coming over and then separating them when our legs are at the furthest point, slowly coming down and up. So together to start, up and over, and then apart. Together at the beginning, and then separate them. And here, really press into the palms. I'm going to come up to the screen. Yes, that's it. Great work, Christina. That's it, Sarah. That's it, Vera. Yep. Let's take 3 more like this. 2. And last one. All right, hug those knees in. Take a breath at the bottom, and then bring both legs up. We are bringing the right leg down, flexing the foot out to the side a little bit, point to come back up. Flex down on the left, open a little bit to the left, imagining that your heel is on a little skateboard, drop and open, really slow here. Last few reps here. Keep going one at a time, or option to do both down, open, point to come back up. So just maintain that connection with your low back on the mat if you're doing both sides, so that you're not coming down probably quite as far. That connection with the low back means that we stay really strong through the core. Whew, and hug those knees in. Really good work, everyone. That was some really intense core work. Speaking of which, we are going to do one more song. So if you have a ball or something you're using in lieu of a ball, it's coming between your heels. So my heels are together, securing the ball in. My knees are really wide. So come down to your back, and then with my feet flexed, so the opposite of point, my feet are flexed, draw that ball in towards your belly button, and then kick it out on an angle up towards the corner of your room. Keep your feet flexed the whole time, and think about drawing your knees all the way down into your armpits. So draw them in. This is why it's called the froggy. So you can kind of picture a frog really slowly kicking off here, and let the work here come right from the core. Stay in the breath. Doesn't matter which way you're breathing, as long as you're breathing in and out during this. And it's less of a squeeze on the ball and more of a control. So this is the one where in class, one of us, usually me, inevitably lets the ball fly across the room and everyone has a good little chuckle. That might happen. So it's more control. I don't think I've ever taught a class where someone hasn't lost a ball. Let's go for 3 more. 2 and one. Bring those knees in, hands come behind the head, and I'm coming into a little crunch here. So my legs are staying stable. My knees, you probably can't see them, but my knees are really wide. I'll show you that back view here. So my knees are wide, and I'm coming into a little crunch. So I'm bringing my elbows up towards my knees, so my knees are wide, my elbows are wide. Let's take 3 more like this, and then we'll take a break. 2, you've got this, and 1. Let's bring your prop out, hug it in on the shins, take a little left, right rock. Really nicely done. We're coming back into that same position. So knees wide, heels in, squeezing or securing in on your prop. And from here, lift the head, neck, and chest up. And then from this position, kick that ball on that about 45-degree angle. And if this is uncomfortable on your neck, you can leave your head, neck, and chest down on the mat. So this is still about the core. It's still about the inner thighs. And then that lift is just a little bonus. So completely optional to do that lift. That's it. So your toes and your knees are in line. They're coming out in an angle. Let's go for 3. That's it. 2 and 1. From here, lift that head, neck, and chest. Connect elbow to same side knee. So we're coming left and right. Keep your legs where they are in space. I'll show you the back view here. So my knees and toes are staying wide, and I'm coming left and right. This is kind of like that little penguin one we did on our fronts about 15, 20 minutes ago. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees and head down, let it go. Let's take a nice deep breath there, and feel free to grab for a sip of water right here. Great work, everyone. That was 2 very, very intense core songs back to back. That was about 8 minutes straight core work. Okay, from here, come to the back of your mat, standing up, and we're going to take this into some runner's lunges. So let's start with the right side. I'm going to take a big step forward towards the front. This should feel nice on the back. I'm going to drop my left hand, reach up with my right, drop the right hand. We'll take just a moment of high plank, and then step outside the left hand with the left foot, reach the left hand up. And so we're just alternating here. Step back to plank, right foot outside the right hand, reach the right hand up, drop the right hand here. So take your time through these. And if it feels good to hold aside for an extra few seconds, an extra few breaths, go ahead and do that. So I'm reaching up, same side hand as the foot that's reaching forwards, and see if you can sink the hips down just a little bit here if this feels good for you. And reach. Let's take 1 more on either side. And last one here for this first round. Reach. And then let's come up to the front of the mat. Come and take a really wide squat. So my heels are further in than my knees, and you can just come down and press out a little bit on the legs with the elbows. Let's stay here a couple of breaths in this frog squat. Really, really deep squat here. And if you can, press the heels down, but they might not go, and don't force them. All right, from here, stand up at the top of your mat. We're going to step back with the right, sweep the hands up, maybe a tiny little arch in the back, step up with the right foot, step back with the left, same thing. Drop that back knee, maybe all the way down to the mat, reach up, looking up at the sky. This one takes a little bit of balance too. Keep alternating through the legs here. And let's take 1 more on each side. And then let's all land with the right leg back. And from here, can you drop the left hand? So my right leg is back, my right arm reaches up. Let's bring right arm, right leg up, left and left. So reaching up, the same side hand, as the leg that is back. Let's take one more on each side. Back and reach. Last one, back and reach. Really nicely done. From here, we're coming down into a child's pose. Option here, if you have a circular resistance band, you can bring it on your forearms, and we're going to go from a child's pose into a tricep dip. It looks like this. So reach out with the hands, press the hips back. And from here, we're going to glide forward, take a little sort of half push-up, press it back, up and over. This part is completely optional. Feel free to take that child's pose and stay in it as long as you like. So for this one, I'm taking my child's pose with really, really wide knees. So knees out, toes together, but whatever way you are comfortable in a child's pose. So draw it forwards and down. And if you have that band, just maintain a little bit of tension through that band. That's it, you've got it. Let's take 3 more and then meet me back in your child's pose. 2, elbows bend right towards the hips. And then let's settle back into that child's pose. If you have that band on, here's where it's going to be useful again. We're lifting up one arm, lower it down, lift up the other. This one is really effective without the band too. The band means we can't go quite as far. It's offering a fair bit of resistance right here. So it's a slow lift and lower right from the shoulders. So press the forehead down, press the hips back. Slow, intentional lift and lower right here as we start cooling the body down. Stay in that breath. Let's take 2 more on either side. 3, 2, and 1. Coming back into the tricep dips. Press it all the way back. Forwards, bend the elbows, coming back. Staying in this for 30 more seconds. Yeah, that's it. Great work, Catherine. Beautiful, Sarah. Really strong, really strong. Yeah, that's it, Vera. Nicely done, Christina. Let's take 3 more. Great work, everyone. This is a really intense way to finish off the class. I promise you'll be so proud of yourself. Let's meet at the back. And this time, rather than up and down, we reach over to the side, out and in, alternating sides, out and in. So reaching maybe right off the mat if you have that band on the forearms. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let it go. You can bring that band off to the side. And then slowly curl up into a seated position. We're going to take some stretches from our back today. So coming down, or if you have a stretching routine, I always say this, if you've got a stretching routine, you've got stretches that you are doing on your own, then go for it here. I'm going to hug in on my right shin and circle through my right foot one way for a few seconds, and then coming the opposite direction in my ankle circles. All right, let's take that right hand, going for the inner right thigh, and then just let that right knee hang to the side, and then reach out the left hand to the letter T, and you can look out over towards the left fingers or to the right or right up. So this one's just more to open up through the hips. And then let's take that left hand, grabbing the right outer thigh, and here's where we get into the twist. So the right knee, send it all the way over towards the left, reach the right hand out, look out over towards the right fingertips. So looking over the right shoulder, really deep twist right here. And one more breath here. Before we switch sides, let's come into a figure 4 so that my right knee is bent. I brought my left leg up. Option here to bring the left knee up and open up here, and then grab on either to the left hamstring or even the left shin if you're really bendy here, but don't force it here. And breathe into this right here. This one feels really good, I hope, on that right hamstring and right glute. Let's take one more breath here, and then we'll come on to side 2. All right, let that right leg drop down, hug in on the left shin. Circle through the left foot. Coming one way and circling in the second direction. And then from here, the left hand goes on the left inner thigh. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time. Reaching out and over. And then we'll just finish up on this side. We're almost at 6:45 right now. We might already be there. All right, let's take that right hand, left outer thigh, over to the right, looking out over that left shoulder for a really nice twist here. One more breath. And then we finish off in that figure 4. So the right leg comes up, left leg goes over, and then hugging in on the right hamstring or even the right shin. Let's take a couple breaths here. All right, one more breath. And then release that left leg. Let's rock and roll slowly up to a seated position. And we are all done for today. Great job, everybody.
Thanks, Emily. That was great.
You're welcome. It was great to see you.
See you
Thanks
soon.
very much.
Thank you. Thanks so much for coming. Thank you.